Martin Luther King Jr., written by Rennie Mitchell. Focus question: what events shaped Martin Luther King Jr.'s life, and how did he affect others? Growing up in the South, each year in January, we celebrate Martin Luther King Day. We remember the life and work of a great leader. And who was he? Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929. Where King grew up, white leaders made unfair laws that took many rights away from people. They kept black people and white people segregated or apart. Many places such as schools, bathroom, parks, and bus and train waiting room were segregated. The places for black people were not as nice or clean as those for white people. Black people couldn't live in white neighborhoods or marry a white person. As King grew up, he saw how these laws hurt black people. He wanted to help. King goes to school. King started college at the age of 15. He decided to become a minister. At school, King learned about a leader in India who believed in using peaceful protest to help people. King decided to use peaceful protest too. After King finished school, he and his wife moved to Alabama and he became a minister there. Coretta Scott King. King's wife, Coretta Scott King, was an important leader. In 1968, she started a center to teach people how to protest peacefully. She also helped make her husband's birthday a holiday. Mrs. King traveled around the world to work for equality, and she died in 2006. Protests in Montgomery. In 1954, the U.S. Supreme Court said the school couldn't be segregated anymore. Black people hoped this meant other places wouldn't be segregated anymore. So, in 1955, a black woman named Rosa Parks was riding home on a city bus in Montgomery. Black people had to sit at the back of the bus, and they have to give up their seat to a white person if asked. Parks knew this was unfair. When a white man asked for her seat, she didn't move, and the police arrested her. After Parks was arrested, black people decided to protest. They wouldn't ride the buses until the buses weren't segregated anymore, so they put the king in charge of the protest. A year later, buses were no longer segregated. The protest had worked. It showed that the kings could change. It helped King become a well-known leader. The women of the bus protest. Black women played an important part in the bus protest. Even before Parks refused to give up her seat in 1955, black women were working to change how black people were treated on bus in Montgomery. Women helped the protest keep going. They held meetings, planned carpools, and talked to protesters, and their efforts helped the protest continue until the protesters' demands were met. The Birmingham protest. White people who were angry about desegregation bombed King's house, and this didn't stop King. In 1963, King went to Birmingham, Alabama, and starts a protest. Hundreds of people were arrested during the peaceful protest, including King. Black leader raised money to get protesters out of the jail. During another march to the next month, protesters were stopped by police. The police used fire hoses and attacked dogs. Many of the protesters were hurt. When people across the country saw what happened to the protesters, they were angry. Black civil rights leaders and city leaders made a deal. A week later, Birmingham was desecrated. The work continues. King organized more marches and gave a famous speech. He called it equality for all people. The next year, the presidents of the United States made segregations against the law, and the fight for civil rights was not over though. In 1965, King helped plan a march to protest how black voters were treated in Alabama. King led the protesters, but they didn't get far before the police attacked them. And then, 3 weeks later, the protesters marched again. This time, members of the U.S. Army sent by the president protect the protesters. On August 6, 1965, the president signed the Voting Rights Act into the law. It protects the right of all people of color to vote. King's Memorial. In 1968, a white man shot and killed King in Tennessee. King died on April 4. People around the world were shocked and sad about his death. In 2011, a memorial for King opened in Washington, D.C. People from all over the world visit it and remember him. They carry on for the work of justice and equality.
Good job. Click on Click on the items with the Wow, you passed. How about you? Click on the items with the red X. You're amazing. A perfect score. Welcome to Sentence Unscripted. Classic Unscripted. Welcome to drop the words into the box in the same order you hear them read in the sentence. Before 1964, many schools were segregated or separated by race. 1964. Before 1964, many schools were segregated or separated by race. Many schools were separated, segregated, segregated, or separated by race. Before 1964, many schools were segregated or separated by race. In the United States, we work for liberty and justice for all. In the United States, we work for liberty and justice for all. 8. A person might take part in a march to support or protest an issue. A person might take part in a person might take A person might take part in a march to support or protest an issue. 2. Support or protest an issue. A person might take part in a march to support or protest an issue. The memorial is dedicated to the soldiers who lost their lives in battle. The memorial is dedicated to the soldiers who lost their lives in battle. fought for civil rights for African Americans? During the 1950s and 1960s, who fought for civil rights for African Americans?
Good job.